everyone, it's your favorite emotional update video where it happens every quarter of the year, where I tell you how bad YouTube is and I tell you to support me all over the place, and then a whole portion of you get mad at me because I'm genuinely just trying to connect with you guys. But you see it as me manipulating you. Welcome to the show. My name's Gerard the Completionist. Welcome to the update video. Hold on, before we start, we need a thumbnail in which everyone will click this video on. You ready? What should we do, guys? What should we do? Hold on, I think I got it. No, that's too bad. You like that one? Ted liked that one. How about this? That's a pretty okay one. Oh, I like the Home Alone look. We can do the Home Alone look. Did you try that one? Great, that was the one. Welcome to the update video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this opening bit as much as I had making it up. This is the video where, I don't talk to you guys very often when I'm on YouTube. I'd like to, but YouTube algorithms, bullshit aside, all that stuff. I just want to update you guys on the world that's going on behind the scenes, stuff going forward. It's a new year of content creation. We don't stop here in the office because we don't stop. We don't stop. And here we are. I'm updating you guys on the state of the show. We're gonna answer some questions at the very end on Twitter. A lot of you guys threw hundreds of questions at me and I'm excited to let you know. Everyone in the room is pumped. They're all doing squats. They're all high-fiving each other. They're all wearing masks. One of you is wearing a mask. We're all COVID tested. Don't worry about it. Social distancing, everyone. Let's get to the news. The news is we are at episode 400. That's right. As of SSX Tricky, I have completed 399 games. And today would normally be episode 400, but I'm putting a big old pause for the next few weeks. The reason why is because we have been going nonstop pretty much since the launch of 2019 season of The Completionist, episode 300 to episode 400. And we haven't had time to kind of stop and assess and look at what's going on with regards to how we feel about the content, our future, where we're going in the company and all that stuff. So for the first time ever, I'm kind of doing a soft pause on the Completionist show for about a month, roughly. The show will be back for episode 400 towards the end of April, or towards the beginning of April. But that doesn't mean you're not going to get content at all, because as we do, we gotta feed that hungry beast that's the YouTube algorithm. We got a whole lineup of New Game Plus episodes just for you guys. We have Dark Souls New Game Plus, we have Super Smash Brothers for Wii U New Game Plus, and we got Red Dead Redemption New Game Plus. There's gonna be some top 10s mixed in there, and that's to give us a little bit of a buffer going into the beginning of April for episode 400. Things are gonna change. Obviously, I shaved my beard back in January, which means we have a new intro. For the first time ever, we're gonna have a updated theme, which I'm very excited about. Speaking of New Game Plus, I've been streaming the entire process of New Game Plus live on Twitch. A lot of people say, hey Gerard, I didn't know you had a Twitch page. My response to that is, I've had a Twitch page for literally 10 years. Did you know that? You do now. So come on over to twitch.tv/thecompletionist. I'm not streaming right this instant, but I stream a couple times a week. Right now, we are on game 112 out of 120. That means we've got 8 games left, you guys. And in that mix of games left, I know, I'm feeling it. We got Skyrim left, Diddy Kong Racing, Metal Gear Solid. I'm currently playing Wild Arms. And we've also got Shovel Knight, Banjo-Tooie, Super Meat Boy is essentially done from Beard Bros, just a couple of achievements here and there. And we're ending it out with Mother 3. That's what's left. We're so close. I'm hoping to finish the games by the end of this year, but I don't know. Either way, come join us. We have an awesome community. The community's actually tripled in size in the last couple of months, which is kind of fascinating, but it's still chill vibes and good times. So come on over. And hey, I've been doing late night DDR streams as well. If you want to see me stream from my arcade at my house, I've been exercising a lot more. So yeah, come on by twitch.tv/thecompletionist. Oh, and there's your Cerberus. I forgot there's your Cerberus. Damn it. That's not 8. Now it's 8. Now it's 8. Durja Cerberus. Who could forget Durja Cerberus? Next up, we got some merch things. For the 400th episode of the show, we have 4 shirts that are not out yet. They're going to be coming out on pre-order in a couple of weeks. But right now, I believe it's right now. Maybe not right now. Maybe soon. I don't know. We might cut this part because no one tells me anything anymore. We have a completionist poster that's celebrating the last few years. It's available for purchase. It's $20 and every poster is signed. So again, It's the poster right here on screen. It's made by Dear Bits. They did an incredible job with it, and I'm so excited to sell it to you guys. $20, every single one is signed. You can get it right now at thecompletionist.com, and they should ship right away because we just got the t-shirt little packages. What are they called? Tubes. We have the t-shirt tubes. Oh, t-shirt tubes for posters. The poster tubes. That's the one. Again, thecompletionist.com to buy a poster tube. Next up, as you guys know, Indieland happens every single summer, and this year it's no different. We're gonna have one in 2021. We don't have the dates yet. However, I would like to announce a brand new charity event that's essentially going to be our second event of the year. Actually, technically the first considering the timing, but we're gonna have from now on 2 charity events that take place every year. We have Indieland in the summer, and one that's at the end of March, right before we celebrate 400 games completed. And that event is called Preserved Play. We are raising money for the Video Game History Foundation. This group is putting in their blood, sweat, and tears to preserve all kinds of material from press releases to early builds of games to restoring code from older games so we can get things like cool compilations for Nintendo Switch and PS4 and Xbox and all that stuff. These guys put their blood, sweat, and tears into all the work they do, and I'm a fan of theirs. I've known them personally for years, and I just started talking to them and I realized that, hey, I can do a lot of good, we can do a lot of good to help preserve the future of video games. So what is Preserved Play? Similarly to Indieland, I'm gonna be playing games for 48 hours, not necessarily straight all the way through like Indieland does, but it's a 2-day event on March 26th and March 27th. We're raising money for this History Foundation, and I'm playing all retro games. And the coolest part is that I've got developers, I've got YouTubers, I've got friends from all over the world who are going to be in person, who are going to be Discording in, and we're going to be unveiling some never before seen material from the Video Game History Vault. Pictures, press releases, even old and first builds of games that no one's ever seen. If you're a Mario fan, if you're a Zelda fan, if you're a Banjo fan, I have a lot of cool surprises for you. And if you're a Shovel Knight fan, the guys from Yacht Club Games are going to be there to not only talk about some stuff about Shovel Knight, but to showcase some of the games they worked on with secrets that no one's ever heard of before. So this event truly is a Easter egg of history and supporting the Video Game History Foundation. So come on by March 26th and 27th, full day events the whole time through over at twitch.tv/thecompletionist. Hope to see you guys there. I guarantee you we're gonna have a blast. Now to go along with this event to raise money for the Video Game History Foundation, in case you guys didn't know, we're celebrating 10 years of The Completionist this year, and I wanted to celebrate somehow to not only help a good cause like the Video Game History Foundation, but to kind of give back in a way where my community can feel empowered by doing so. So I have partnered up with a couple of great individuals to create a zine for The Completionist. It's really a TOVG zine, but we're calling it The Completionist 10th Anniversary Zine. This is a magazine that's being made by awesome people, and you can actually contribute to this if you're an artist. So there's a link down in the box below. This weekend alone is the last time to sign up. Essentially, you can choose to do an art piece from The Completionist, Super Beard Brothers, Defend It, Big Bad Bosses, The Dex, any collaborations like from Scary Game Squad, or anything like that in between. This is a celebration of 10 years of The Completionist and all TOVG related projects. And so if you purchase the zine, you're basically pre-ordering it, and the pre-orders will go live the weekend of Preserved Play. So all the money raised goes directly to the History Foundation. It's gonna be a really great time. I'm so excited. I've seen a lot of applicants. I know them personally, and I know some of the scope of what's going into this. And so we're gonna be raising money through that. The more zines we sell, the more cool stuff we're giving away with the zine. So collectible pins, postcards, stickers, so on and so forth. Again, if you want to apply, there's a link down below to sign up for that, to audition for it. And if you just wanna buy one, show up on the 26th and 27th at the Preserved Play event over at twitch.tv/thecompletionist. 2 final quick updates. 1, Big Bad Bosses. Yes, we are going into the studio literally in the next couple of weeks. It's happening. Volume 2 is happening. I'm so pumped. We're trying our best to get together via remote and going in person. We're social distancing. We're taking COVID tests. We're making sure that this album happens. I'm dedicated to ensuring that album number 2 comes out hopefully by the end of this year. And if not album number 2, at the very least, we have a full-blown remix album with some awesome artists attached to it. More on that later on this year. And the last thing real quick is the Completionist Live Tour, the Completionist Legacy event. New dates have been established, but tickets still haven't gone back on sale because we still don't know what the world's going to look like. According to the current calendar, it's to take place sometime in May and June, and I don't know if that's true or not. So if you have your tickets still from the previous event, they're still good. I will let you guys know the minute that the world starts opening back up. I think it's safe to say that when everyone else has opened back up and we're all kind of in a good zone, then we'll move forward with it. If not, chances are we're going to move that live tour event one more time, probably towards the end of this year. And if not, I might just have to figure out some kind of live stream thing to do to make it up for all you guys out there who purchased tickets for the event. So we'll see. But hey, I'm still excited to do it. I've been getting the itch to see people, so hopefully this event still takes place. I'd love to see you guys in all the cities that we've listed, and yeah, hopefully the Completionist Legacy Live Tour will finish this year. All right, now that I've sold out to myself, let's take some Twitter questions. I went to Twitter and to my Patreon Discord, and I just said, hey, if you have a question, let us know. I'm gonna read it, and hopefully it'll go good. Hopefully it won't be cringe. Hopefully we'll all just have a really good time. So let's rock and roll and get to those questions. So full disclosure, I asked on Twitter and Discord, one, to not ask questions about if I'll complete X or Y game, because the chances are, yes, I will. And two, what's the easiest or hardest game to complete, or what my favorite game is or least favorite game is, because I answer those questions all the time. You can look up old podcasts or Twitch interviews or things like that. Stuff that everyone, or past update videos, so you guys know what's up. With that said, let's dive into some questions. Here we go. Steel Door Run asks, do I like Hatsune Miku? Yes. Next question. I've been getting a lot of questions that just ask how I'm doing. How are you doing? First off, thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm doing all right. I think mentally I was a little drained at the beginning of the year, but I think as we started seeing the news kind of change with regards to the vaccine and social distancing rules and just talking to family and friends more, I feel better. I'm in good spirits. You know, I have a lot to be thankful for and to celebrate this year. So overall, feeling pretty good. Thanks for asking. How are you? That's a question I have for all you guys at home. How are you? Let me know. Zombie apocalypse scenario. What jobs do you assign Jesse Cox, Faciani A, and Team Davis to ensure survival? Okay, I'm in charge of the weapons. Jesse's in charge of all of us. Faciani is in charge of food. Davis is in charge of manual labor. Because Davis will hate it, but he'll actually do a really good job and we'll be really appreciative of him. This person asks, hey Gerard, been a fan since 2014 and wanted to ask you, when all this is said and done and you stepped away from YouTube, when you step away from your YouTube portfolio, is there something you can say you're proud of? Keep up the good work, guys. I love you and all your content. Man, what an existential question. I would say that the thing I'm most proud of the most is our consistency and our ability to just keep the grind going and evolve. Having 399 games under my belt, plus the 112 so far redone on top of it, that feels really special. You know, that's what 500 plus games that I've completed over the course of 10 years. And just the tenacity of the team, that to me is the most exciting thing. I think anytime, you know, that we as a team can create something that we can go, that's going to be a timeless thing that people 15, 20 years from now are going to really like. You know, that to me is the most important. Whether you're watching our videos in 2011 or watching them in 2031, you know, hopefully they still hold up and I've learned a lot and I've grown and people enjoy it. That's the thing I'm probably most proud of and hope that people take away from the content we make. So Jason asks, how do you learn to efficiently complete a game without the trial and error of wasting hours? I don't. I actually waste hours. I waste time and time again. There's this common misconception about me as the completionist that I'm a god gamer. And the reality is I'm not a god gamer. I'm actually, I'd say I'm average at best, maybe a little above average, but a lot of it comes down to patience and perseverance. I may not be able to speedrun a game, but you give me the controller in a couple of hours and I can probably find some strats, do some research, and embody what it's like to speedrun the game. And that's very often what I have to do sometimes for these speedrunning achievement trophies. And you know, that feels good to be able to kind of to take it in. I always compare myself to Mega Man, right? I'm kind of like, I absorb the game for what it is, and I get good at it, and it's mine, and I'm making it my bitch, and everything goes great, and then I move on to another game, and I forget what I did in the previous game. So that's kind of how I've always seen things. But yes, I am the king of wasting time when it comes to completing games, just because I have to learn the ins and outs and craft of what it's like to complete those games. It's not always, you know, sunshine and rainbows, which a lot of you guys know just from watching our content. How do you schedule your time when completing a game? Do you take multiple days with a set goal at each day, or go as much as you can in one day? It depends on the deadline, right? So, you know, if a company gives us a game early, we try and look at the schedule and go, can Gerard complete that game in the scheduled time that we've allotted? And if that's the case, if the answer is yes, then we clear my schedule for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and that's all I'm doing. And any other voiceover stuff or any other Beard Bros stuff, I either will take those weeks off or we'll postpone them and switch them around. Just because when we're completing a new game that no one knows what it's like to complete it, I have to do a lot of insane research and trial and error. You know, playing Final Fantasy VII Remake was really awesome, and it allowed me to gain the strats and the abilities to beat the really hard secret boss in the video that I made for it, because I spent so much time with the game. But I had to push myself through that and go through the ringer and do it kind of all blindly in that way of not knowing what the game holds in mind. So, you know, we kind of clear the schedule and say, all right, Gerard, it's time for you to waste all your time and wiggle your big toe until you can, if you know what I mean. Dennis asks, do you think you could beat Leonardo DiCaprio in a fight? Does he have an Oscar yet? He has an Oscar, then he could beat me up. If he didn't have an Oscar, I could take him. But when you get an Oscar, hands off. Can't mess with the man with an Oscar. Can't mess with anyone with an Oscar. Don't mess with them. Meryl Streep, don't hurt me. I don't want none. I don't want any. What are the kind of things you look for in a YouTube channel that would make you want to subscribe to it? That's a great question. Tone and intent are the two biggest things. If you want me to watch your videos, the biggest thing I have to ask always is, what's the point? If you're gonna make a 100-minute video about Sonic the Hedgehog or Shadow the Hedgehog, whatever it may be, why am I watching this video? Is it because you want to say the game is good? Great, I can watch tons of people out there who say Sonic game good, Shadow game bad, whatever you come up with. But you have to give me a reason to want to watch, your perspective, your thesis, your intent, your desire to share a viewpoint. And then from there, it's all about your tone and reverence. You know, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you negative? Are you a neutral party? Are you, focusing on your pronunciation? Or are you just trying to get through the motions because you're nervous? There's so many different factors, I think, that kind of come off in that way. And I'm certainly guilty of all of those things from video to video. But I think it's important that when you are making videos, that you have a clear and specific viewpoint and you're sharing it with everyone. And sometimes game is good isn't enough. You have to think outside of the box. It's the same thing with Let's Players. I'm not on the internet looking for new Let's Players to watch. If anything, I watch Twitch streamers more than Let's Players, but that's the thing, is that I'm not out there looking for it, because Let's Plays essentially the same thing over and over again, right? You fall in love with the personalities and kind of the bits they create, and that's not necessarily something you can just do by watching episode 592 of Minecraft and that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Where do you see yourself, the channel, and TOVG in 10 years? Holy God. I don't really know. I have benchmarks. I've had benchmarks in my mind, right? In the beginning of this YouTube career, it was like, get to 1 million subscribers. That was like, that's the benchmark that everyone wants. It was 100K, then 1 million. We did both of those over the course of 6-7 years. And then it's kind of like, well, what's left, right? How do you grow? And I think the next step for us is, my ultimate goal is, I want to get into the video game industry as a positive force of nature to help create games. I'd love to create a publishing house to help indie developers who need funding, who need drive, who need YouTubers and influencers to help promote their games. That to me is where I see myself, is gearing the company, using the Completionist brand to get people excited for games and to help indie developers who otherwise don't have an audience, just give them a place to grow. That's a big reason why IndieLand's been so successful, is because we're taking indie developers who are usually these 1 to 8 people teams that have no funding. We're putting their blood, sweat, and tears in their projects. And I want to be able to amplify and positively support them. And at some point through making this publishing house, financially supporting them and giving them the tools they need to succeed. We've talked about how we want to make a couple of films. We would love to make a game at some point. I'd love to make more music via Big Bad Bosses. Obviously this merch stuff's been really exciting. We've been working with creators to help grow their business, and I'd love to see that grow more and more as we really help creators learn how to make merchandise, sell merchandise, and grow their business. And at the end of the day, I think ultimately what I'd love to do is I want the dream that I have been trying to do since I started the show. I did not want to be a YouTuber when I started. I wanted to be a person who owned a production company so that I can make whatever the fuck I want. Because Hollywood rejected me. TV and film beat me down. Documentaries were not where I was happy. I did a bunch of grunt film work, and I realized that I wasn't going to go anywhere fast. And I wanted to work on my own projects and create that way. And you guys are the result of that. And I'm so grateful for that. And I want to keep doing that on a larger scale. I want to be able to take over Hollywood and be like, I did this. And I want to turn around and I want to go to Pat or Ted or Michael or Fraser or Brett or Alex and say, hey, what's your dream? What film do you want to make? What cartoon do you want to make? What play do you want to put up? I want to be able to do that and help my friends achieve their dreams. My friends have been supporting my dreams for the last 10 years, and it's time I give back to them. And that's ultimately what I hope to do within the next 10 more years. The Discord's got some questions as well. Let's see what they have to say. Persian Prince asks, what's your plan after you're all done with New Game Plus episodes? Will you use that time to relax or do other types of videos, or will you try and fit in more Completionist episodes in its place? We have a whole docket of shows that we've worked on that we wanted to see and try and create. You guys saw our first episode of the Complete Legacy of, which we aired last year during the 9th anniversary of the Completionist on Mega Man X. We'd love to make more stuff like that. I'd love to make the Battle Square come back in a bigger and better way. I think once New Game Plus is done, there will be a bit of a void on the channel because, we're going to go from 8 videos a month, probably back down to 6 until we as a team kind of decide what we feel most comfortable with. We might just stick at 6 and then, every now and then work towards a premium type video. Iran2132 asks, what advice would you give for the collecting scene and what is a good way to start? Holy crap. So I've secretly kind of become a collector over the years, as you guys can tell. I got most of my collection from you guys at home because, people would give me games via their P.O. box. Speaking of which, I have a P.O. box, address on screen. If you want to give me your games, I'd love to have them. I'm trying to one day build a preservation museum of games, so it's not going to waste. It's going to go to a good cause someday. But a big thing for me is that most of my collection came from you guys at home, and that's been wonderful because there's notes in a lot of these games saying, hey, I'm a big fan from XYZ country, city, state, and that's exciting for me to have because I really appreciate that. But I think if you're trying to get into collecting, the thing I would say is don't worry so much about boxes and manuals and really focus on getting good labels for those old NES, Genesis, SNES cartridges, just because the labels are the things that tend to go bad and tend to devalue the cost of the game when you're trying to get it. Also, scuffs like people writing their names on them or making fake repro production cartridges, right? So I think the big thing I would say is go for the basics. Go for your Mario Worlds, your Mario 3s, and your Sonics and your Zeldas and your big RPGs. Go for them. And if you're at a trade place or if you're at like a marketplace or you're buying them online, buy multiple because you never know when you're going to meet someone who goes, hey, I'm looking for this game, and you go, oh, I've got that game and you've got a game that I'm looking for. Let's do a trade. that's how a lot of this stuff works. If you've got great extra copies of games that you love that you've been keeping to one day trade or give to a family member for Christmas, you can take that and use that for trade fodder, which really helped me a lot when I was trying to get, complete collector editions of things that I really love. This is the last question coming from Mass Defect. What moment do you consider your greatest moment since starting the Completionist? Whew, the greatest moment since starting the Completionist. I think it's so hard because every year I've had milestones to celebrate that have just made this job, as crazy as it is, truly wonderful. Things that I never thought I'd ever get to do. When I got to meet Miyamoto, I got to meet Reggie. I got to work with Suda51. I got to interview Joseph Ferris last week. If you guys didn't get to see that video, please watch it because the YouTube algorithm said to hide it from a lot of you guys. I interviewed him about his new game, It Takes Two. That was a pleasure. Doing Indie Land with Cisco and Jamie Lee Curtis. And, I think the greatest moment for me that I can say, and it sounds kind of weird because it's not really a moment, it's more of a thing that just keeps happening, and that makes me so happy, is when one of my peers or my idols or heroes out there sees me and goes, "Hey, what you're doing is awesome." That to me is my greatest accomplishment. When I get someone like the gaming historian who texts me and says, "Hey, great video," that fuels me for weeks. When any celebrity friend of mine goes, "Yo, that video was tight. That was so sick. I'm gonna go buy that game." It just melts my heart because it just means that not only what we're doing has purpose and meaning, but that people who know and love and care about me and the team and the product we're making actually like what we do. And that's the best part, just to be like, "Hey, I made this thing and the people I care about love the thing I'm making." That to me is the best moment that I get to experience, hopefully more often than not. It just depends on the project and the year. When we made Big Bad Bosses, that just felt like such a great celebration of a new chapter in our lives. When we did the live shows, the same thing. And hopefully we do it again with 400 episodes in April. And again, one more time when we celebrate 10 years in September. Guys, thank you for watching this emotionally manipulating video. I hope you enjoyed it today. Be sure to remember to, if you want to pick up a poster, you can totally do that at thecompletionist.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecompletionist. At the very least, come check out the live stream, Preserved Play, raising money for the Video Game History Foundation on March 26th and 27th. And at the very least, I'll see you guys soon at the end of April, alone episodes coming out between then, for new episodes of The Completionist. Guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.